I don't have my headset in. So
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, we are live, everyone. This is what happens when you deal with two prima donnas. You start late, they're not ready. Lauren's driving, so she's on her way, but Joel actually beat her, and he's actually now I don't know. Now he got strike for 425 on his brand instead of lending for entrepreneurs. Hold on, let me turn this down. But yeah, morning everyone. If someone can, I am trying to test it out. I am streaming on Rumble today. So I've had a Rumble account for a long time. I have no idea where it shows up on Rumble, but if you have Rumble, check it out and see if I am live over there. But hold on, Lauren is here, so let's let her in. Good morning.
Oh my God, Joel beat me?
Yes, he did. I'm
that's
surprised.
how we roll. 2025. Let's go.
All right. So good morning, Lauren, and good morning, Joel.
Morning.
So let's dig into it. Yeah, a lot of big news over the weekend. I've been talking about it probably on every live stream, at least touching on it a little bit, because I want to see everyone's thought. Everyone kind of has a different stance on it. So definitely let's kind of maybe kick off with the 50-year mortgage that Trump has talked about maybe implementing or trying to implement. I know Joe has his own little stance on it, but Lauren, what's your take on when you hear that news?
A 50-year mortgage, I think a lot of people's initial reaction is like, oh, what a dumb idea. But from an investor's standpoint, like if we're just looking at how this could be a tool that could be used to build your portfolio, having an extra $300 a month on as cash flow could actually be beneficial for people who are trying to build a cash flow portfolio and not necessarily in an appreciating market. It could be a great tool for new investors to be able to get into the market.
Great points. I think that's what a lot of people's initial thoughts, especially investors, are going to be. But Joel has been posting a lot on social media, Facebook, that it is a big nothing burger, right? So, Joel is in lending. So once again, if you do need a lender, reach out to him. Very helpful. But so Joel, why is that your stance on it?
Did you guys see my post on Facebook where I had a picture from 2017, me standing next to Elsa at Disney?
No.
Fucking,
Facebook?
Yes, I did.
Do people use Facebook still?
Wow, what a shot. All right, shots fired already. But all right. But yes, I did see that.
Well, somebody said in the comments, made a comment, and it was like, well, what did Elsa have to say about the 50-year mortgage? And my response was like, something or other. It's generations and just like an eternal winter. And as I was typing that out, kind of responding like as she would respond, like 50 years. That's 2 generations. 2 generations.
Well, yeah, and the average homebuyer, first-time homebuyer, is 40 years old. So you're 90 when most men live to 72 is the average lifespan. So it truly is generational.
But why do you think it's a nothing burger, Joel? Like why that was kind of you kind of message us that on the side, and you have put up some charts and some data, but why is your stance that it's a big nothing burger?
Well, people are up in arms about it, how it's gonna take advantage of the buyer. It's a terrible decision, and there's all kinds of riffraff about it. But coming from the stance of being in the business, you've got lots of tools. You've got a 15-year fix, you've got a 30-year fix. There's arms out there. You've got there's DSCR loans, bank statement loans. There's all kinds of loans out there. And if I'm a home buyer and I'm 45 years old and I've already owned 2 homes, I'm clearly not going to get a 50-year mortgage. If I'm a first-time home buyer and I don't know anything, maybe I'll get a 50-year mortgage. But the average lifespan of a mortgage is typically 3 to 4 years. Rates go up and they go down. Maybe you refi, maybe you get to a 30-year in a couple of years. Like, it's just a very small sliver of what could happen in the marketplace of people acquiring loans on purchases or refinances, that it's going to be such a small subset that I just don't think it's going to have much of an impact. It's going to maybe get a few people excited about it, but that's about it.
Do you think it's going to increase the cost of homes?
No, I don't think it's going to have any impact. The thing that's going to have a impact on prices of homes is the fact that the money printer's on, and it has been for a long time. They're deflating the currency. inflation is happening. Yes, it's going to have impacts here and there, but I think it's going to be minuscule on the grand scheme of what's happening with the economy, the currency, and all the other things that are happening. So I think that's why I say it's, in my opinion, a nothing burger. I almost thought about it. I mean, maybe I should go rent a hamburger suit for today, and like put it on.
You have too much on your plate. Leave that alone.
No pun intended.
ADHD, but so Laura, do you think prices will go up if this does become available? Let's say it becomes available to everyone. I mean, I know there's talks. Maybe it's just only for first-time home buyers. Investors won't be. But let's just say everyone can take advantage of it. Do you think home prices will be impacted by a 50-year mortgage?
Not significantly, no. I don't think that, I mean, we don't know who will be able to get this loan. And potentially in certain markets, but I can't see in my market it being affected by that, because the price of the homes are already, if $200 or $300 a month is impacting your decision to buy or not, that in this market where I'm at, you're already like priced out essentially, because there are people who can afford that extra 200 or 300. That's not the reason they're making the decision to buy or not. So potentially in lower cost markets, I could see it maybe having an impact, maybe a little stimulation to the market. But where I'm at, no, I don't think it will affect the price of homes.
Were you going to add something, Joel? Looked like you were going to add something.
Oh, yeah. Because, you mentioned, is it going to be for first-time home buyers? Is it going to be, who's it going to be eligible for? And going back to the rumble between Dion and Brandon on investing in 50-year mortgages. And I think Dion's stance was like, I want that because that's going to be worthless in 50 years. So all day, every day. And then I'm thinking, okay, well, will an investor have the ability to get a 50-year mortgage? I don't know. But then I know from an investment property rate standpoint, the rates are higher on investment property loans versus primary residence, sometimes by 0.5% or even more. So if you get a 50-year mortgage on an investment property, like how bad is the pricing going to be on that? And then, it's not going to be attractive. So there's always these layers of detail that goes into it to see if it's even worth it or not.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say what's up to Steve Uehara, tuning in on Instagram. I went to Cal State Northridge with him, but he is a big news broadcaster out in Hawaii. So thanks for tuning in, man. I do see Emily Lopez on Instagram, and she'll be joining me tomorrow morning, also discussing some of the same things and also talking about the talk of no minimum credit score required. And we can also dig into that a little bit with Joel after, if he had any thoughts on that. But
I kind of equate that to this, so we can touch on it later.
No, I think, if anyone hasn't seen yesterday's replay of the live stream, it was very great discussion. No feelings were hurt. I think they had their stances on it. Dion definitely is looking at it from a standpoint of, I think there's going to be a window of opportunity, right? So there's going to be an opportunity for people that are trying to get on the property ladder, and this is their chance to, if it does come to fruition and that 50-year mortgage does become available, I mean, there's going to be this window where, because I think prices will go up because now people can afford more, right? So just like anything, you're giving them the ability to afford more home. And as we see, most people are probably stretching themselves and buying a home. So they're not always making the best financial decision. So they're going to be like, oh, I can afford more. I can afford a bigger home. That is what I'm going to pay. It's based on payments. It's not on price. So I do see prices going up. And with that being said, I think there's going to be a small window where people can jump in because before the prices do take off. But I think another part of it is, I think it could free up these homes that people have been sitting on and turn into accidental landlords, possibly because they didn't want to refinance or they didn't want to sell, because what would they buy next at a super high interest rate, right? So if they can move into something else and take advantage of a 50-year mortgage, now we could be unlocking like starter homes, right? Or these lower price point homes where other people can get into the housing market. So there's a lot to play out. And like we said, we're all speculating on what the rates or what the mortgage would be based around. Would it be available for everyone? But it is interesting, right? Everyone has a different stance on it. But I'm assuming, Lauren, if you have this opportunity, do you think you'll be taking advantage of a 50-year mortgage?
I would. I would if I'll take advantage of whatever comes available that is a tool that can be used if it makes sense. If you run the numbers and if there's no restrictions on refinancing into a shorter term loan later on, why wouldn't I take advantage of that? Just because you have a 30-year mortgage or a 50-year mortgage doesn't mean you have to keep the mortgage for 50 or 30 years. So if I need to utilize the lower monthly payment and there's that opportunity, absolutely, I will definitely take advantage of that.
Yeah, exactly. So I think even Joe did post something. I'm not sure if I think I chat GPT'd it or AI'd it or whatnot, but you were showing like if you do a 50-year, you might save $150 a month on payments. And that was kind of, you're like, it's not that big of a deal. But then I looked at it like if you put $150 a month, right, in the S&P 500 for 50 years at a 7% return, what would that come out to at the end of 50 years, right? So there is, but that's the thing. I think even Zuber touched on it with Jason Hartman. That's the key, right? How many people will actually be investing that extra money they're saving, right? So that is the question there.
Yeah, probably most people won't be. But at the same time, like I feel like the one way that I would use it is if I needed that lower, like if I was just like, oh, I just want that little cushion and I don't know what the price point is, like what homes you could get this, but obviously as you get into a higher priced home, the monthly savings become more significant. And if you need that extra cash flow just for a little bit from an investor's point of view, I would not do this for like a primary residence because I know myself and I wouldn't be investing that extra money. I would just be spending it.
Be in Bali or
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, wait. But see, you're saying you wouldn't maybe consider it for a primary, but let's say you couldn't qualify at a 30-year, right? And you
Oh, well
could
then
at a
yes, I
50,
would.
right? And so I think that's the way I'm seeing it too, is where even with a 30-year mortgage right now, how many people are actually holding it for 30 years, right? So
Yeah.
in reality, you're probably having a 50-year mortgage, but you're refinancing it after 7 years, 10 years, so you're actually having a 30-year on paper, but you're
Mhm.
refinancing it multiple times. So you're really doing a 50, 60-year mortgage in a sense. And I think if it helps people get started, right, get on, if they can, I mean, yeah, it's a slim margin and, maybe they're not making the best financial decision, but for you, to get on the property ladder, if the 50-year mortgage does help and then you can refinance later, I definitely think it's going to be beneficial for a lot of people.
Well, and I think about it also like commercial properties. I have a mentor who is in self storage, and he owns a lot of probably like $50 million in commercial real estate, and they have to refinance every 5 years. And obviously, you want your loan to value to be right, but he's always leveraging that tool, which is the mortgage, to continue to grow his business and have the right amount of cash flow. So I think if you're looking at it as a tool, then it's beneficial if you're using it right. Like it's really about the user and less about the tool, because people find themselves in bad positions when they over leverage. And the same is true for if you use this 50-year mortgage and you get into a house that you really can't afford, but because of the 50-year mortgage, you kind of feel like you can, and then you get stuck in it. So it could be good or bad. It's just a tool.
I love that part of the conversation too, because looking at it from an investor standpoint and cash flow, I mean, portfolios or whether it's multifamily, commercial space, storage, like you mentioned, there are lots of investors who want to get into an interest only type of instrument to
Mhm.
increase cash flow. They don't care about the principal pay down, that they want to have that cash flow and the flexibility, and then to be able to take the extra cash flow and reinvest it in the business. And you look at the 50-year mortgage, because I was looking at the numbers when I posted it, like, okay, you know, a 15-year versus a 30-year, there's a pretty significant difference in payment. So a 15-year amortization difference, the payment difference on 300K, 5% down, the number's like $600 a month difference. And then the difference, so that's a 15-year difference of amortization, right?
Yeah.
So from 30 to 50
It's
to a
20.
20-year difference, it's a bigger
Yeah.
difference, but the difference in payment is $140. Well, once you stretch it out so far, it's effectively an interest only. Like if you do the math on the very first payment on the scenario that have a 6.5% for the rate, 6.75 for the rate, only $57 of principal is in that first payment. So it's basically interest only.
Yeah.
Initially. So it's just interesting to look at it from different angles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thanks. Dylan is watching, but he's trying to see if I'm streaming on Rumble, because I linked my Rumble channel, but I have no idea where I am on that side. So it's kind of a trial and error to see if I'm streaming on that side. But we'll also dig into Lauren. I don't know. I thought she was supposed to have her YouTube page up and running by now. But
you guys, I know. I was like, I have to go early this morning so I can set up a YouTube channel. And I was up early. I was like, I'm going to do this thing. And then I was like, I'm late. And now here I am.
Well, you posted some content.
Yes,
since last week.
Exactly.
I was going to give you
that's a win
for that.
We got to celebrate the wins. Next,
right.
I will have my YouTube channel next time.
All right.
Ooh,
all right. Okay. All right. So yeah, Flavio was bringing that up. He says, "Why are you not streaming on your YouTube channel?"
Flavio, put me on blast.
But yeah, he does say "Hello, Casa Mariposa" by Lauren. So I guess he's throwing out the names for the boutique hotel again.
I love it.
But yeah, I think, is there any any other thoughts on the 50-year mortgage you guys are looking at? I mean, I think, yeah, he says he couldn't find it on Rumble. But yeah, I think definitely, there was some interesting other things I saw. I don't know if he's here, Chris Webb. He's kind of a big economics individual, but he was talking about the Cantillon effect and whatnot. But he was talking about how possibly, like, could you see the 50-year mortgage almost like being somewhat like a stability for people, right? They get into housing, now they know 50 years, they have this set payment basically in a sense, and now they can basically be or try to be productive in other areas, right? They can maybe take a little more risk in other maybe business opportunities or whatnot. But now they know they're for 50 years, they basically have housing in a sense, right? I mean, yeah, they have to make this payment, but it's a fixed payment for 50 years. And now they can basically calculate their other resources, how they're going to use it, to maybe grow their business or other business opportunities that come up. But that's how it could leverage the economy in a sense in growing.
Yeah, I think that's a very positive perspective on it. Like that people will be utilizing the opportunity to do other things and take other risks. But I also think it's more for the person who can't afford to be in the housing market, and it gives them an opportunity to kind of like afford it. And I don't know if you can take risks when you're in that position of like just barely being able to afford it. But I do think that if they have a 50-year mortgage and they are in a market that appreciates, in 20 years, they now have a chip to play with. And then at that point, maybe they're able to take more risks or do something different when they sell. So it's good for people to have opportunity to get in the game. Anything that helps people get in the game is a positive thing.
Right. So like I do see a lot of some other pushbacks and stuff on social media. So like, Joe, what would be your take? So like some people are like, oh yeah, now I get to give a home to my child or grandchild, right, with a 20-year mortgage on it now, or remain, right? So you get into the home, you get a 50-year mortgage initially, and now say, oh yeah, here, you inherit this house, but you have a 20, 30-year mortgage remaining on it. So I see people looking at as a negative, but I'm looking at it more like, well, at least
that or they don't have a home. Like they could never get in. It's like if my parents had given me house with a 20-year mortgage, I would be stoked because that mortgage payment would be significantly less than anything I would get today. If they were locked in on a 50-year mortgage when I was a kid, what that price would be outstanding. So you have appreciation on your side, and also you have that locked in payment on your side.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I thought about too is like, okay, if you roll the clock forward 25 years, right? I mean, the average price of a home today is like 420 or whatever the number is. And so you do the math on that, right? 20, 30, 40 years is the average price. Can you imagine the average price of a home being $1,500,000, $1,200,000? Like that's what the kids or grandkids are going to be looking at if you do the math on that, which is just crazy, which is probably what people 50 years ago were thinking about 20,000 to be a million or whatever in price. But
Yeah.
I don't know, like the I think this is like in 2015, 2014 timeframe. In the DC market, it's a high cost area, so the county loan limits are higher than other parts of the country. Today, it's like 1.2 million. Other parts of the country, the limits are 806,000, I think. And in that time frame, I think it was 2014. The loan limit was 843 for the high cost areas, and then it actually went down for a couple of years before it started going back up and eclipsed that level. And so these things go in cycles, you know, of inflationary, deflationary, and so I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see it. Will we have some point where we have a dead period, a 10-year dead period of complete just flatness of appreciation on asset classes, whether it be stocks or real estate? I mean, the stock market, if you look at the stock market, the S&P 500 from the lows from the tariff sell off in April, S&P was like 503, 510, whatever, and now it's 670.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's gone up 15 or 20% in like 6 months. Like, what's that all about? Are profits that much higher now than they were back then? I don't know.
Did you just say 6'7" on purpose again?
No, but I didn't know I said 6'7".
No,
Did
he
I say
said
6'7"?
67 or something.
Uh,
But I see Monica tuning in on Instagram. We're trying to get her on the channel, and she keeps saying no. So I'm gonna but yeah, thanks for tuning in. She is another lender. I told her we should hear her thoughts on this, but yeah, she's dealing with people spelling her name wrong on her coffee mugs at Starbucks right now. Yeah, she is listening. She's laughing.
We all go through that.
The last one she got, so her name is Monica, and they wrote Most Nika on her on her Starbucks.
I like it.
Well, I better not say Starbucks. I don't know if it was Starbucks. I just say coffee, but
yeah. I get Joel, Jole, all the time at Starbucks. Like Dole.
I do want to answer. I say good morning to everyone tuning in. I do want to show some of the questions. So Mick, I don't know if you guys seen, but Brandon Turner came out with a video recently on his channel. I forgot who was talking with. Cathcart, I think that was the other investor's name. He's another big investor. Cam, yeah, I believe.
Yeah, he's a St. Louis guy, actually. Yeah.
So they were talking about how real estate is a struggle for them right now. Right?
Oh.
So yeah, so he, I'm not sure. I believe Brandon Turner is in Texas now. He's relocated himself there because he is trying to save some of his deals. A lot of his deals are underwater.
Oh shit!
So he has moved to or for the time being. I've heard other stories, but I'm not sure if they're true. But he is in Texas trying to save some of these deals that he is working on. But they were both basically talking about how real estate sucks right now, and it's a grind for them, and that's why that Mick saying, yeah, Dion must be feeling good, right? Brandon Turner said he's working harder this year than he has in 10 years combined.
And that just goes to show that I think that speaks. I don't know Brian Turner's portfolio at all, but I assume that he has a lot of those commercial 5-year loans, and that's going to be happening to a lot of people because 2020 to 2021, when people were getting into these commercial properties, they took these 5-year loans, and if you don't increase the cash flow or the appreciation or whatever it is by that 5 years, and now our interest rates are so much higher, there's no way they can make those monthly payments when they have to refinance. So I think that's going to be happening to a lot of people in the commercial space that maybe didn't see that coming, even though I feel like the writing was on the wall. You get into a place with a 2 or 3% interest rate, you have to have a pretty strong exit plan because there's no way you're going to be at that interest rate in 5 years. So I think guys like Dion, who are like slow and steady, wins the race. are not working that hard because their strategy works at any point in time, not just in the hot market.
So it's funny you bring that up because also David Green and Rob Built, who I don't know if you want to say were fired from Bigger Pockets or they went their separate ways, but they finally came out with their kind of reaction video about what happened. I think the
Oh,
non-disclosure may have ended, so now they're kind of talking about why they left and for what reason. But basically, yeah, they kind of said the same thing as you. The one rental at a time, the Dion, the Coach Carson, small and mighty, those strategies work in any market. There's other times that certain ones may work better. Some are worse, but for in any market, the slow and steady kind of one rental at a time, small and mighty, Coach Carson, that method works in any market. But I did feel like David Green was still pushing back against that. But that is just my interpretation of what was being said during the video. But Mick also comments, I guess David Green was talking about the 50-year mortgage coming out yesterday. And he was saying, if the 50 is a full point higher than a 30, it will cost $40 more per month than a 30. That's according to David Green yesterday. No deal. And my take on that is that it would not, there's no way it will be like that because the whole principle of the 50 is, to make it more affordable. So, I mean, I guess
But
possibly
that would defeat the purpose. You might
exactly.
no
Yeah,
one would do that. Yeah.
exactly. So it will be priced accordingly, and I think it will take some time for lenders and banks to figure out the risk involved with a 50-year, but they will probably make it attractive, just like how the 30 became more attractive than the 15, right? So the 15 and the 30, the 30-year became more attractive for banks because they're going to get paid more interest over time, right? So the 50-year will probably happen the same way, where banks are going to figure out what is the most optimal way to present it and what's going to make them the most money and price it to where it will be the most attractive of the 15, 30, and a 50-year mortgage, right? Dylan is asking, I would think it's inflationary in my opinion, kind of like artificially decreasing rates. What do you think? Joe, any thoughts? Lauren, go.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it is. Anytime you make it easier for people to get in, then the prices are going to go up. Everyone's going to use the tool. And by nature, we're kind of like consumers. If we can get a bigger house or whatever, which is going to be at a higher price, then we're going to squeeze into that. So, yeah, I agree. It will be somewhat inflationary.
Joe,
If it becomes a thing.
Joe, any different thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it just from a number standpoint, I mean, what's a 0.5% reduction in a rate? It's the same thing as a $140 reduction in payment because of the extra terms. It's the same thing. So yeah, it definitely could cause that stimulus in some regard. Yeah, and then if rates do go down, which I mean, looking at the bond charts and all the things and inflation, like I would have expected the 10-year treasury to be lower than it is right now. I would have expected that we'd be testing that 3.6 level that we saw in 2024 when the Fed announced rate cuts in September leading into the election. No hokey pokey on that, by the way, back in 2024. I'm surprised that we're not there. And that's my next hope for 10-year to get down that level. I just don't know when.
Here, all-nighter hider. Regarding the 50, who gets more of the advantage, the lender or the borrower? With inflation risk, I see the borrower having the advantage. Anybody want to take Joe first?
Well, I mean, Hyder makes a good point too. He talks about, okay, well, if home prices do continue to go on the current trend up, inflationary, yeah, then as the home price, goes up and if wages go up, then yeah, you have a fixed payment on that. So yeah, the borrower in theory would win and then reinvest the difference.
Any thoughts, Lauren, about this? Who has the
I mean,
advantage?
I think, yeah, the borrower, there is an advantage to the borrower, but also the lender. I mean, when you look at the interest that they're collecting on these 50-year, I mean, it's essentially an interest-only loan at first. There's a huge advantage there for lenders.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing I struggle with too is people that are, they don't like the 50 because they're like, the bank is going to make this much interest. And me and Cody Davis kind of touched on it on Monday. He was like, I don't care what the bank
Yeah.
makes, right? They are providing a service and they are taking on a risk of 50 years in a sense, right? So they're going to get their money. But if I can arbitrage the spread of what they're letting me borrow and I can increase my wealth or increase my cash flow, then I'm winning also, right? So I don't really care what the bank is going to make.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I do see probably I mean, the lender is going to make their money, but I do definitely the borrower is going to get advantage in here, especially as we've seen. I don't think our government in any way is trying to not spend money. Yeah, I think inflation is just going to be part of how the government does work now. I mean, they're already talking about changing the target goal from 2%, right? That's not going to probably be the target goal anymore. I don't see that possible. So there might, maybe 3% is the target goal for inflation. But yeah, our government is proving that they're not willing to cut spending, right? And you see how much fight or pushback is when they try to cut spending, right? When Doge is announced to cut waste and fraud, and just see how much everyone is like, oh, I want my money. Why are you cutting my program and this and that? And so I think it's just it is going to be inflationary, so that if you can borrow fixed rate debt and it's 50 years, then you're going to end up winning over time, right? Let's see what else we got. Hyder is asking, let's see. Ooh, do you have a guess here, Joe? What's Joe's guess as the spread between a 50 and a 30-year? How many basis points more in estimation?
That's a great question, because I actually have some data pulled up earlier for a client. So it's a purchase, and seller is covering 3% of closing costs, which is cool. So they want to buy the rate down to 4.875% on a 15-year fix. So paying a little over 2 points to get to 4.875%. So right now you're talking about a 0.5% difference between a 15-year and a 30-year, which typically the historical difference is about 0.25% between 15-year and 30-year. Right now there's a bigger advantage on the 50, there's a bigger premium to do a 15-year. So it's a 0.5% difference. So my guess on it was probably a 0.25% difference between 30 and 50, just a complete guess. So 15 to 50, I'm thinking 0.75% difference as a rough ballpark.
All right, I do see my man Nick, Lead Pray Hodl here. He is still putting out daily content on Bitcoin news and information, even though he's on vacation right now. I forget where he's traveling, but he did put some videos out there. So go follow him on YouTube. We'll probably start doing a regular thing once the holidays end or past Thanksgiving. I'm still trying to get him to come to Vegas, but it sounds like he's not going to. Oh, we'll pester Lauren about that after too. But sounds like Nick's going to be there for March Madness, so I'm not sure if he's going to attend the ORAT Vegas event. Yes, Chris Webb, you do need to text me back. I messaged you yesterday and you're ignoring me. Yeah, we'll mention Costco. Chris Webb is asking, did you go over the distraction aspect of a 50-year? Ooh, you guys have thoughts on that?
Joel?
I wouldn't label it a distraction. I mean, people getting up in arms about it is a distraction, because people have all kinds of opinions about it. And it's like, it's not even out yet. We don't even know what the details are. But then kind of going back to the 620 credit score Fannie Mae release, and Mark, you were on that live yesterday that I did on Instagram with Chad Craig, who's a Maryland realtor. And people are up in arms about a below 620 credit score. And my take is that it's already happening. Most people aren't aware of that because they're not in the game like I am, but it's already happening in various forms. And I'll give you a couple examples. One, I got a loan done with a 496 credit score because they had a cosigner and it worked out. They put 50% down and the deal made sense for the borrower. But Fannie Mae allows you to average credit scores with a cosigner. So that's one thing, well below 620, and the guidelines allow for that. Separately, FHA allows down to a 500 credit score. Obviously, if you hit certain credit score credit framework requirements in terms of payment history. But if you put 10% down, then you can qualify for down to 500 score. So it's already happening. They're just giving it more of an opportunity to make it happen simpler and easier for some people, or essentially creating marketing for it. So that's really what that's all about, in my opinion.
Someone want to say what's up to BuzzTune, Mikey. He's loving daylight savings because now the lives start later and he's able to jump in and tune in. But thanks for stopping by, man. Uh, Chris Webb he's already thinking about food. He's thinking about breakfast in Vegas already for that event. He said Stacks and Yolks is where we're gonna go. Yeah, before we touch on more things and Lauren's boutique hotel, I did say someone mentioned something about bowling and strikes earlier. I think Harrison did, but how is that coming? And did you buy your ticket for Vegas yet, Lauren?
You know, I haven't even bought my ticket for my Thanksgiving trip. I'm really a last minute kind of gal, but no, I probably should. You think it's gonna sell out?
Yeah, of course.
No, it's
By like tomorrow. Well, he's
by
under
tomorrow.
he's under 100 already. I don't know how far, but he's under 100 tickets. I mean, I know you don't, but if anyone out there is listening and they haven't heard, Zuber is um he has 20 spots or 15 now, but he had 20 spots available for teenagers to come free. So any parents that want to bring their kids with them, if you
That's
reach
cool.
out to him. So I think 5 people has already taken up spots. So about 15 left. And you're also going to get the opportunity to have a one-on-one with Cody Davis. So if people don't know, Cody's probably like 25, 26, millionaire, early 20s. He was on Bigger Pockets at like 19 or 20. But those teenagers that do attend will get one-on-one with Cody Davis. Cody Davis said, yeah, he'll sit down with them, talk to them, and kind of get some, maybe put them on the right path.
That's cool.
Yes, Chris Webb is saying Fruity Pebble French toast. See, now he talk about distraction. See, Chris is now
Yeah.
distracted with food talk. But Flavio has a great question. Lauren, are you in school with us?
Come on now, don't confuse her. You gotta simplify things. Come on,
I know.
Flavio.
I mean, I have to like set up my YouTube channel. I gotta buy tickets for this thing. Now I'm school. I just learned about school last week. I mean, it's like you guys are doing too much.
Yeah, Flavio, leave her alone, man. She's busy. But yeah,
No,
so
I do want to come to. I have warmed up a lot to the Vegas thing.
yeah, because you heard Backstreet Boys is going to be there.
No, I literally was thinking about it the other day, listening. I'm helping my friend with her e-commerce business while she's out of town, like sending off her orders. And while I was packing her orders, I had Backstreet Boys playing. I was like, let me just see if this is good, would be worth it. And I was like, yes, absolutely. I want to see Backstreet Boys. There's so many bangers, hit after hit. I was just like, oh man, I haven't heard this in ages.
Lauren, question for you. You and I were chatting offline about some of your girlfriends visiting you for a birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked you, are any of them in real estate?
Mm-hmm.
And you said no. What was there for you personally? Was there a hurdle or a threshold you had to cross to be like, okay, yeah, I can do real estate? Or what made you want to do real estate when most women aren't even, it's not even really a thought or desire to get into it? Like, what are your thoughts on that and why others don't get into
I
it?
think well, I think honestly, because I traveled so much in my 20s, I thought of things differently. I wanted to be financially free because I wanted to be able to travel whenever I wanted. And if I had not traveled, I'd probably be like a lawyer right now or something. Like I would have gone to school and gotten a good job and would be working a 9 to 5. I almost wouldn't have any reason not to. It was like I needed a reason to need that freedom. And my friends don't have that. They don't travel. Like one of my friends, she has kids and her husband is more handles a bit more of like their finances and stuff, and he's kind of into real estate, but she was just like, I'm busy being a mom, and she has a master's and she has a great job. So like I think it was for me born out of necessity for the lifestyle that I wanted. And that's why I think if you're in your 20s, doing things that are fun, that inspire you to get into real estate, like if you don't have a reason to go for things, then you kind of don't do it. You know, it's like if I was a trust fundy, would I be in real estate? Probably not, because there would be no necessity for it. It's almost like born
Yeah.
out of the necessity for it.
Yeah. Well said.
I see
Sure.
Val tuning in. He's a realtor. He's a firefighter also in Maui, but Lauren does have a short-term rental in Maui. But let's see who else is here.
Lauren needs an intern.
Yeah, Lauren needs in. Oh, I skipped. This was
Oh.
an important one too. Nick also mentioned, yeah, there has been some talks about. I'm not sure, if it's how close it is to maybe being available or what, but portable mortgage is the key. So that's
Yeah.
also, so that would definitely
What
be
is this? I have not heard of this. Portable mortgage?
So like if you have a low interest rate on your property and you're able to sell your property or buy the next property, but take that percentage that you have onto the next property. So if you had like a 2%,
well, that would be incredible.
yeah. So I'm not sure, same thing, right? It's something that's always, it's been mentioned and definitely that would be a game changer, I think.
For people who already have low interest rate mortgages.
Or even not necessarily low, but lower than what's available, right?
Yeah.
You could have a 4% rate, and right now it's 6%, right? And that's maybe what's preventing you from moving up in the next, making your next purchase, right? So definitely,
I think to throw onto that, I mean, like I have a client in the county recording process. Some counties are digital, some counties are not digital. It takes weeks, months for things to get recorded properly. If at some point in the future you get to more of a digitalized or blockchain type of recording, then maybe that becomes a possibility. I don't see any way it's possible in this current environment with all the mishmash of counties and recording and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, Janelle here is saying, yeah, that's so cool. I think she's talking about Zuber's offer to allow 20 teenagers to attend the event for free, start them young. Definitely agree. Chris, are you going to be an intern for Lauren?
Yeah, I'm taking applications, Chris. You're at the top of the list.
All right. So let's take that. Okay. So Mark and Lauren, if you had an intern, what would you have that intern do to help you grow your business?
Show up on time. Oh, sorry.
I was here on time. I was here on time.
I'm just playing.
I was here on time.
I know.
Nope.
1 minute. I was 1 minute late.
I counted 3. Okay. No, seriously, what would you do to invest in your business?
I would have them do my social media. 100%.
Okay. Follow you around with the camera?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool.
And then
any
also
Idahoans
edit my
out there?
stuff and do all that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Mark?
I don't want to do a lot of stuff.
Stop it. No. This meagerness needs to get out the door.
I am happy where I'm at. And so here, I'll throw this out there. So I was in Dion's course call yesterday, and Zuber was the speaker for an hour, and Dion had whatever 9 or 10 questions he wanted to ask Zuber. So none of this a lot of this wasn't or is recorded, but it's not going to be put out there. So Zuber's going to answer a little more personal type stuff. But anyways, there was one question that came up, and somebody asked Zuber, like, how do you put out so much content every day and not feel burnt out and just you're just so consistent with it? And what he said was pretty much, I think, how I'm feeling or maybe how I approach it. But he says it's basically just I'm talking to my friends every day. It's not even like he's not really, his channel grew and he blew up and whatnot, but that was never really the intention. It was just I have a phone call with my friend at 7 in the morning. I have a phone call with my friend at 8 in the morning. And I have a phone call with my friend at 9 in the morning, and I'm done for the day. And he goes and does whatever he does. And then tomorrow, same thing. I have a phone call with my friend. So that's kind of the way I feel like, that's kind of what I'm trying to do. And that's why we're trying to do a regular thing on Wednesday. Monday I have Cody Davis now. Tuesday I have Brandon Potts and B2R Investing. And then Thursday it looks like Emily and myself are going to be doing kind of a regular thing for now. And then Fridays I have Joseph, the fractional real estate, like every other Friday. And then probably Nick will be Saturday, Bitcoin. So that's the same thing. It's kind of just yeah, it seems like I'm doing a lot of work, but I mean, shoot, I'm just having fun. You know, it's like meeting friends, talking to my friends every day. So that's kind of the way I'm looking at it. So
Well, I mean, okay, for me personally, like the content part of it, if I'm talking to a young kid to maybe help me out, do some more stuff, put out more reels, put out more static photos, put out more, because like all the people that you have on your show, right? They all have a wealth of knowledge, and how cool would it be to be able to have somebody say, "Hey, I'm going to talk to Joseph Cachapalia or Cody, all these people, and like take some of their tidbits of knowledge, and then put it into a guide, put it into a one pager, and then have that as a tool or resource that people can download for free or
well, well,
things like
well,
that."
that's why if you look at most of my reels and shorts that I put out there, it's never me speaking. So I always try to find where you guys are speaking, right? And I'm trying to put your guys' content out there and hint, hint, Lauren. So when I tag you on it, you're supposed to share it. So it's an easy way to put, your content out on your page where you're speaking or something, right? But that, so if you look at a lot of the stuff I put out there, it's not really, it's rarely ever me saying much on there. It's usually whatever, Joel is speaking on something, or Laura, or whoever's on, right? I try to find content where they're the ones speaking on a certain point or topic and to promote their brand in a sense, right? So yeah, it's not really, like I said, I'm just glad you guys do it because it does give me content. I can put stuff out there. But for me, it's more just, yeah, I'm just having fun and talking, having fun with talking to your friends every day. So hopefully they reach out to you after. And I know Joe, you joining school, I think a lot of people are reaching out to you. You're getting business from that. Lauren, once you get your YouTube channel up, I think, like we don't know many people investing in Idaho, right? So, that could be helpful to you.
Speaking
Well,
of Idaho, Monica, who's on Instagram, she's a lender in Idaho, and she's doing all kinds of DSCR loans. She's great.
I know. We should have her on one of the days that I'm on, and then we can chat.
I'll gladly take a backseat. No big deal.
No,
She's
I'm
actually pretty good.
trying, but she said Monday and Wednesdays are like her busiest days or something. Like I told her to come on here because she
Well, we
probably
could shift a day. I would love to talk to her because it's like it'd be perfect. And also, who knows? I'm probably doing a construction loan at some point. So
Hugo said his brother is in Idaho.
oh,
What's up, Hugo? Hugo's here.
Homeowner at 20.
Yeah.
That's the stuff I love to hear.
Hugo said your reels have been popping up, Lauren.
yes, I'm so glad that somebody's seeing them because it takes me 6 hours to do each one.
Let's see.
What are you laughing at, Joel?
Hugo.
Hold on. Chris Webb says, good question, Joe. We all think we're busy, and we are, but really, if we broke it down to provide tasks to an intern, it would probably give us a better view of our productivity.
Yeah.
And that's Chris. And that's Chris juggling probably like a donut in one hand right now and coffee in the other hand, and he's probably voice texting right now, and he still hasn't messaged me. And he still has not messaged me back after I texted him last night. Oh, Hugo.
What is he saying? 6 hours? What?
Where is he saying? Man, there's too much stuff.
Well, I was in Florida and Idaho, so does that mean I get like double points?
Oh, okay.
Ooh, okay.
That's some different math going on there.
All you need is a little trip to Tucson, and you got triple points.
I do want to bring up maybe Joe. Sorry before getting to the shenanigans and other stuff, but there was a question in school. I know you probably may have. I'm not sure if you saw it, but someone who was a older couple, I believe maybe in their 60s. They were just like, would a lender give a 50-year mortgage to these individuals?
Oh, that's an interesting question.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing on an application that says what is your estimated time to death. I mean,
they almost probably couldn't like discriminate in that way.
No,
I don't think that would be legal.
It's not. Yeah. I mean, I did a loan for somebody who was 82 years old a couple years ago. 30-year loan. It was a VA loan. I mean,
yeah,
it is what it is.
I want to know, Hugo, are you telling me that you missed the? Do you not have YouTube Premium? So
I don't.
you don't. Oh my! You guys gotta get it. It is so worth it. But
There's too many
hard hat.
subscriptions.
Yeah, but it's like so because you don't get the ads, and then you can even because right is if you have YouTube open right now and you close your phone or it turns off, right?
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if you like lock your screen.
Yeah. So if you have the premium, you can lock it and it's still on. It still plays. So
Yeah.
it's super worth it.
But also, I could just not lock my screen.
It's true, but hold on. All right. Where's the hard hat to rentals? I forgot. I saw him post something that I want to. Where did he put it? He said just rode 3 of my properties in in a 75-year loan. Cash flow is $7K a day.
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
Wouldn't that be nice?
See, even hard hat to rentals says definitely get YouTube Premium. It is worth it. No, yeah, Hugo, I get it, but I'm trying to tell people they should get premium though because it's just way easier. Yeah, Hyder, like, what's your estimated expiration date's going to be on that application now for a 50-year mortgage? Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. You guys what else you guys want to dig into? Lauren, how's the boutique hotel? Any progress on that? Any progress on the name?
No progress on the name. I'm leaving town on Thursday, and I'll be gone for 3 weeks. So I'm really hoping.
Wait, what? 3 weeks? Where are you going?
I have to go back to Florida.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm going to Mexico for Thanksgiving. So
You haven't even bought your ticket?
no, I have my
You
ticket to
definitely need
Florida.
an assistant.
Yeah, and
I wouldn't go to myself if I were you. It's too scary.
I hitchhiked through the Middle East, Joel. I'll be
That was a different time. Now people have cell phones everywhere.
it was a more war-torn time. Like, I'll be fine. Everybody, when I went to India, everybody was like, don't go to India by yourself. Like, what I've learned is if you can get there, it's safe enough. Like, the countries that really are unsafe, people won't take you there. Like, you can't get there.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't worry about that kind of stuff.
Don't drink the water.
I will not do.
Definitely
not. But
Dave Matthew.
Yeah, my contractor I don't fully trust. I usually like keep a close eye on him because he's overbooked, and so he doesn't check on his guys very often. So I'm a little nervous to see how things go when I'm not here.
I mean, he's new. I mean, you've never worked with him before.
No, he's the same guy I've been using, but he's made a few. I just have to keep an eye on his guys because they will make executive decisions in the field that I'm like, no, that's not right.
Yeah, Hugo. So I don't know. I'm trying to stream on Rumble today. I have no idea where it appears, but I did link Rumble, so I have no idea. But he does have Rumble Premium, and I know Lauren and Joe have no idea what Rumble is, though.
I've heard of it. I know that it's a real word.
Rumble is basically YouTube but free speech. So it's
Can you get monetized there?
I don't know. I haven't even got that far yet. I've had it for a while. I just never, because you can see a lot of videos over there, and they get there's not a lot of traction there yet, and that's why, like Millennial Mike, who was on, me and him caught up last week. He's really big into free speech though, but he's definitely like, yeah, you got to get into Rumble now before it gets popular, so build a brand there while it's kind of slow. Rumble Studio, you get monetized on day one, he says.
Oh wow.
Oh, maybe we could talk about that. I got it. Okay.
Hugo, if you haven't seen, Joe said he's down to live stream on Saturday, I believe. Chris Webb still has not texted me back. Contractors would do that. No way. Yeah. So Yasik is a contractor, but he also has a glass business in franchise in Jersey.
I need my intern here to keep an eye on my projects while I'm gone.
Let's see what else. Dylan says, to be fair, you can get to North Korea from a plane flight in China.
I think you have to have special permission to go to North Korea.
And then, yes.
Yeah, Dennis Rodman got it.
Hugo does say YouTube has billions of viewers. Rumble still has only millions of viewers. Let's hold on. Where is Hugo's YouTube channel? So now I gotta start sharing freaking Rumble channels on this damn thing.
Oh, jeez.
But
you have like a whole like spreadsheet of everybody's shit.
Yeah, I do. It's right here, so I can just click on it and share it. And yours is like 7 of them under your name for some reason. There's like
that's right. Surface area everywhere. So speaking of surface area, I started posting on Facebook, like Unhinged, like on the hour, every hour, just random shit. Literally just random shit.
Hey, I want to give a shout out real quick. Sorry, Joe, but Brian Waters is here on Instagram. If you haven't, go check him out. He just was on Bigger Pockets Monday, I believe. His video came out, but he's a fire captain in California, Huntington Beach. He invests in Detroit, out of state. He has a Code 3 program, out of state coach. But yeah, go check him out.
Is he in school?
He is in school, actually. He's not very active there, but he is in school. But he just was on Bigger Pockets on Monday.
So what were you saying, Joel?
That I started posting more on Facebook.
Yeah.
And, you know, that live that I did yesterday with Chad Craig is somebody that I've known for years. And I'm a lender. He's a realtor. As a realtor, you've got a million lenders coming at you. We've done some deals together. But he's got local mortgage people that he does business with. And so he said to me straight up, I'm hesitant to collaborate because I don't want to upset my local people. I love you, Joel, whatever. And then he just messages me out of the blue, hey, let's collab on the 50 year. So he did it and whatever. And, you know, that's just one example of just posting content. When you're in front of people posting content nonstop, just by default, you're in front of people's faces and just more things are going to happen. You create your own luck. And I'm bringing this back to you, Lauren, because you keep posting and posting and posting and posting. You're just going to create your own luck.
Yeah.
And then when you get famous, we'll just ride your coattails. No big deal.
Well, I'm hoping you guys, like Mark blows up on YouTube, and then I'll just skate in with a new YouTube channel. And all his subscribers will subscribe to mine. I'm really hoping that I can.
Well, step 1 is to create the YouTube channel. We'll see how it goes from there. That's step 1. Apparently, I missed So Chris Webb says Tom Selleck getting a new gig, 50-year mortgage for 65-year-old. And then Hyder did Tom Selleck is mortgage PI. All right, there you go. Yeah. Apparently, I skipped over that one. And
that's funny.
Can we go back to the other Hugo comment about the Florida, Idaho, and Arizona?
All right, Joel. Here's Joel and his shenanigans again. Where did it go? I'll share it. So if everyone hasn't seen it, dang it, where did it go? Now I gotta go back and try to find it. Oh, here.
Well, the reason I asked the question because I've never been to Idaho. I've never been to Arizona. I have been to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So I can vouch for that. But I'm just curious to people in the comments, what are your thoughts about that?
All right, people in the comments. Hugo says Florida, Arizona, Idaho, the top 3 states with the most attractive ladies.
I mean, I feel like California has some babes.
That's a foreign country.
Yeah, Hugo, why did you not include California? Curious.
Maybe, yeah. But I when I was growing up in Coeur d'Alene, and people would be like, "Oh, you're from Coeur d'Alene," and I'd be like, "Yeah," and they would say the girls there are really attractive, but they're all crazy. That was like the.
We could just never mind. Hold on, that didn't land well. I must be old.
What? No. In Orange County? In Orange County?
What? That is no. Mm-mm.
See, Hugo has
Oh.
a vision
I mean,
of starting a
what's your
school.
definition?
Yeah, that's true.
Like 130 pounds?
Yeah.
Well, here's a product. Here, we'll get to Lauren. Use Grok to create a name generator for the context of your hotel.
Yes. Yeah.
You use Grok because I know a lot of people prefer Grok.
Yeah, I do use Grok.
Chris Webb is. I graduated from FSU, lived in Arizona, and will be going to Idaho.
All right, we expect your progress report next week.
Next
topic, please. Okay.
All right. What's up, Casey? Casey's tuning in. He always has lending questions, so he's probably going to shoot you one pretty soon, Joel. Yeah, I got to figure out this Rumble thing. I connected it, but I have no idea where my stream is going or if I'm streaming anywhere. I wonder if I have to be a premium to be streaming live on there. But it did say it was connected, so hopefully
Another subscription.
Yeah, hopefully it'll appear somewhere over there.
Do you find Restream easy to use, Mark?
Yes. So Dion. So here's the thing. So Dion messaged me the other day because he wanted to know how much it costs. But he feels every time he jumps on other people's streams or participates, there's always some glitch in it, whether it's StreamYard or Restream. So for those that don't know, I started with StreamYard, and that's what Zuber and I think Lumberjack uses and some other people. But I was having tons of issues with it. So that's why I jumped to Restream, which is basically the same platform or same software in a sense. But I think I realized that it was more my hardware that I had that was causing the issues. So I haven't really had any issues with Restream. But like Dion jumped on the stream yesterday and he connected his channel, but for some reason it wouldn't go live there. So yeah, he just feels every time he does one of these, there's some sort of little glitch on somebody's platform. But as far as ease of use, to me it's way easier than streaming on YouTube. Unless you're gonna stream right from your phone on YouTube, that's fine. But if you want to like set up a stream, like if you use Zoom, you gotta go through all these steps to set it up, and it's kind of a pain in the ass. So Restream is way easier to set it up.
Hey Mark.
Yeah.
This just popped in my head. Speaking of lending questions, should we do like a open like hour, get all your lending questions answered type of a thing? Add one more live to your repertoire?
Dude,
you can just bring in lenders from all over the country. I can help you do it.
Well, you can. I mean, you set it up and let me know. Okay. But we're having a special guest next week, Wednesday, I believe. Who did you get on for next week, Wednesday? You want to kind of give a little story on who's coming on next week?
Oh yeah, her name is Whitney Cooley. She's a friend of mine that is in Santa Rosa Beach, Florida area, like Panhandle, Destin, 30A area. So she's a friend of mine. Done a lot of business together. I was introduced to her by a friend of mine here in St. Louis. But yeah, a lot of luxury type of second homes, beach homes, all that stuff. And so she works with a lot of investors in the area, and she just good people, and we're going to talk shop down there.
Yep. So, I don't know. Did we even tell Lauren she's coming? She's coming on. I don't think we did.
No, this was news to me.
Yeah, we'll send you her Instagram profile.
Yeah.
And who's joining us next week? Yeah, not much else. Yeah, a lot of people mentioning they've been in those states or what.
So when you said your hardware was the issue, are you saying like your computer that you were using was the issue when you were having trouble with StreamYard?
Yeah.
It was just too old.
Yeah, I don't know if old is the right word, but just wasn't. So what I do now is, I'm sure it works fine on Wi-Fi because sometimes I forget to do it. So it works fine, but I always plug in now Ethernet to directly just to make sure. But even sometimes I forget and it's still Wi-Fi and it's not a problem. The only thing, so like Frank, old guy REI, doesn't want to use it because he likes having his virtual background of his logo. And if you stream, so Zoom is probably much better. So it shows up better, the logo. But if you try to do it on like Restream or StreamYard and you try to do the virtual background, it comes out very glitchy. So that's another thing. Hey, Janitor on Fire is here. He's probably hiding from me because the Cowboys are terrible this year. But he's a big Cowboys fan. I know I'm not sure. Janitor on Fire, Darryl, are you still in that coaching program with what was it called again? What's that? I always forget the guy's name. The Wealthy Investors. Oh man, Darryl, if you're still there, throw the name in the chat. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Oh, there's a lending question here from Chris.
Here. Can we get a second home loan with 10% down?
Yes. The rate is going to be horrendous. Horrendous. And you can actually do a renovation loan on a second home or investment property as well. So
Hugo has big ideas for school. He wants to charge $50 in school. So that's another thing too. Why I can't believe more people don't join Zuber's one rental at a time school community for only $20 a month. I mean, it's just Dale Walmsley. That's the guy.
So tell us more about the school, like what you guys are doing in there. What's happening?
Is it like secret stuff? You guys come and join for 20.
Well, you have to tell us so that we know what is worth joining.
Use my link. We'll get 20% off.
Well, I'll let Joel go first since he just joined recently, right?
So you did?
So what do you think about it? Yeah. What's your thoughts on school?
I feel like we're being converted into a cult. Like
we don't even know it.
Yeah.
Emily joined. I'll let you know that.
No way.
Yeah. She's even been on some of the calls. So I'll let Joe go. I'll let Joe talk about it, and I'll let you know more about it.
Yeah, I mean, coming from my perspective, getting people all with a similar mindset together in the different chats and the different questions. I mean, there's so many good questions that are being asked, and people just are ready to chime in and help and give their own opinions about things. So there's a really good transfer of information and experience amongst people. And then you have the various calls and, Zuber bringing on guests and then you have because Mark, you reminded me about some of the accountability calls along the way. So, I mean, there's a lot of different outlets to be able to find what's good for you in terms of what you need. And I think there's just a lot of variety in that respect. I haven't done enough to get into the actual, because the whole point of school is it's a community that also has like a classroom, right? So you have online course type of things and tutorials and guides, and I haven't done enough in that, unfortunately. But that's just my take on it.
So he's put out some guides and courses that you can just do, like they're recorded and you can just go through them.
Yeah.
So what he's done is he's made it easy. So basically you got to level up to open up to open up the content, but it's super easy. It's like, you post 10 times or you comment 10. So it's not like it's like this crazy, things you got to do. Basically it's super easy to level up, but then you access like the free content that he has. He has like his boot camp courses that he's done before, like the videos. Like I think even now, so if once we get to 500 members in school, he's going to allow access to his Get Your Money Right course that he used to sell on Teachable, but that will be available for free in school when he gets to 500 members. He tries to go live on Sundays, whether it's him or whether it's someone else in the community. Like Pace Morby was on one week. He'll get Coach Carson on. So he has other people come and speak. And then every day you probably have an accountability call or a group call with people in the community. So it's kind of like community led, and there's different times. So some is like today actually, this morning is the ladies of ORAT. So it's kind of focused more on the ladies. Flavio tried to sneak in before, but it's basically focused on the ladies. There's like Friday is an out of state investor call. One is like for real estate. Tuesday has like a real estate agent mastermind. Tonight is like the OG one. It's Frank's Call at 6 p.m. Pacific. So that probably has the biggest turnout of people because that one actually started before the school platform. So it kind
Mm.
of just transitioned there. And then like Saturday morning, you have the Gen Z plus call. It's a bunch of older people normally. There's not too many Gen Zs wake up that early, but it's Cody Davis running it and Dylan. They take that call. So every day you have like one call at least, and if you're able to make it, you jump in. People are sharing, maybe whatever's points they're stuck at. Maybe they have questions, and they're out there looking for advice, or sometimes you have so even like Jim, who's not here, but he's the grumpy contractor, but he's trying to set up like how Joel's idea of having like a lending call maybe. Jim is trying to set up a contractor one with a few contractors in the group to have one call where I think Hyder's going to be a part of it too. But people can come to that call if they have contracting type things, quick questions, maybe show photos. Or, hey, how would you handle this situation? So Jim is trying to start that, and yeah, you have people at all different levels. You have people that are trying to get started. You have people that are further ahead. I mean, but yeah, it's super super great conversation. So it's like that even that question about the if someone is older and they apply for the 50-year mortgage, would they? And then you have all these people just chime because there is lenders also in the community that are on the platform, and they put in their comments, and then there's people asking about, oh, what platform do you use for rent collection? Do you use Hemlane? Do you use TurboTenant, Rent Ready? And then people in the community are just chiming in there. I use this because for these reasons I like this, and then oh, does anyone invest in Detroit? Like the guy Brian Waters, he commented, hey, does anyone invest in Detroit? And I see Ali tuning in. Ali's in Detroit, so they're trying to connect, right? So yeah, it's just a great place for people to network, communicate and hold yourself accountable. So like every day there's a call I said, and not find one that works with your time, and you jump in and just kind of if you have any points you're stuck on and you need help, and yeah.
Oh, it sounds interesting. I'm intrigued. For $20 a month, I feel like that is a way better subscription than YouTube Premium.
Yeah, and it's only like 67 pennies a day, 6-7. But that's what it comes. I don't know if he knew that would be a trend down the road, but it came out to 67 pennies a day is what it comes out to basically for
That's funny.
school. Yeah, and then Yasik is the enforcer in there, so he's pretty much on every call, and he holds people accountable. Yeah.
So when you say call, are they like calls like this where different people are on and you're just tuning in?
Yep, no Zoom call. Some people are at work, so they're just listening in. Some, so you're not like forced to talk or anything. Some people are just, they're listening in because they're doing other stuff, and maybe if they have time, they'll chime in on, hey, I'm dealing with this right now. I need some maybe help on this point. But what's great, well, and then every call is different. So some people do record it and throw it out on YouTube on their YouTube channel. Some people try to keep it more personal because they feel like if they don't record it, then people will be more open about what struggles they might be having. But you can always tell the person, right? Hey, I'm gonna talk about something. Can we like stop the recording for now or whatnot?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I
Are
don't know.
you going to start your own school community?
Joel has one.
You do?
Yeah, it was the Strive for 25 platform with just all about income streams and guides and things like that. And I just paused it because I didn't have the capacity to keep it going.
Yeah.
At this moment.
But
So
did you
Elisa,
find the platform easy to use to start that community?
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's just so much to know that I don't know what I don't know, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like if you want to do it and you have the capacity to do it, it's easy enough to figure out.
Yeah.
So I mean, so a lot of people probably started on Mighty before that platform. So like Dion is still there. Dion still has his courses there, but
On
Mighty,
what platform?
it's called Mighty Networks.
Oh.
But Mighty is so hard to navigate. So even like Aaron Amin, who's been on the channel, he's going to be speaking in Vegas also. He's doing assisted living. They had their program on Mighty, but they've just transitioned over to school. So they've just moved their stuff all over to school finally. But school is way easier to navigate, in my opinion. Yeah,
Cool.
I don't know. Anything else you guys want to say? Any final words? I know we kind of got off, but yeah, we got a lot of good information about the 50-year mortgage. Good thoughts on it. Like I said, I'll probably be touching on it a little bit the whole week just to kind of see what everyone's take is on it. So Emily is also going to be digging into that a little bit tomorrow, also about the no minimum credit score, because she did come out with a video on her new YouTube channel. So go check that out. She is trying to she's trying to separate. I don't know. Did you hear that, Lauren, too? I don't know if she's trying to separate, right? So she's trying to do a specific real estate side and a DIY side. So she is trying to separate her channels. And I believe she's coming to Vegas. I don't know if she bought her tickets, but she and her and the husband will be in Vegas. She said her husband's always down for a trip. And so I believe she'll be in Vegas for the One Rental at a Time event. And yeah, so I'll be live streaming with her tomorrow, a little bit later tomorrow, because I do record with Zuber at 11 a.m. Eastern. So I'll be live tomorrow at 11:45 a.m. Eastern. But Joe, any final words? Anything you want to wrap us up with?
No.
All right, Lauren, any final? What's the last with the names in? What are we at? Do we have any thoughts on the boutique name yet? No.
I feel like the name part of it is like that'll come. Like I'm more in the trenches of like renovation and construction, and once you start getting into like the decor and that part of it, it's the personality starts coming out of the building, and then you kind of get into the name. I also am going to research the history of the property because it's been there since the late 1800s. So I feel like maybe pulling something historical out.
All right. Oh wait, so you did say you're traveling. Are you going to be streaming with us next week then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll send you the information of the person that Joe got to join us for next week. And we should remind her anyways, Joe. That'd be good for us to remind who's coming on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. It was always fun getting with Joe. And like I said, it's just talking with friends now. That's what my live streams are all about. Hope you guys did get some good information out of it. And like I said, the 50-year mortgage is a big topic. So it's interesting to see what everyone's thoughts are on it. But thanks for tuning in, and I'll see everyone 11:45 a.m. tomorrow. And for those of you in school, don't forget about Frank's accountability call at 6 p.m. Pacific today. All right.
See ya.
See ya.
That's a good way to end the show. Some sound effects.